Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, Off-Grid Investor. This is Dolph. Today in this video, we're going to talk about, of course, the CCIV stocks. And today, we're going to talk about the Palantir as well. It went up quite a bit today. I told you yesterday's video that I went double down on this one, but I didn't really talk about this much yesterday. So we'll talk about that. And we're going to talk about CM Life Science. I made a full video on this stock previously. We're going to talk about, I made a small position on this one. So we'll talk about that. And we're going to talk about briefly the Facebook, what happened with the Facebook today. Let's get right into it. So first, right off the bat, let's talk about the CCIV stock. So I finally took some profit off of the table today at the price range 59.80 cents. I took a profit off of that. So we'll talk about that looking at the chart. So here is the daily chart of CCIV. Today, the pre-market, the price went up a little bit. It kind of ticked up a little bit. So as you know, like 50 moving average. So if you look at the 5 days chart, the pre-market went up quite a bit. So my initial thought was not to lose the money, I was looking at the 50 moving average carefully, and the price went up to like the $62 range. And I was hoping that it'll break out the $62, which was kind of highest point on yesterday. So it was important that it had to go above that the $62 range, but of course it failed to do so. So it was coming down, so around the close to the $60 range, and that's when I decided to to take the profit off of it, and it was very hard decision, I can tell you that, but I still left the half of the my profit there. So by looking at today's chart, I could have sold all of them actually, like in the beginning of the market, and buy this dip. But who would know that there would be like this big dip. I was actually looking and see if there is any, like the news came out or something, but I couldn't find it. I think it is just solely because like the people the day trading on this one. And after that dip, of course it was trying to recover from that dip, but I mean it did a little bit, but not as much. So now like it sits at the $52.94. So now I can see like some people may argue with me, if this merger go through, my gain will be a little bit smaller, of course. But you have to think, like I tripled my gain on this one. So even like putting the half of it, I still have more profit on the table. I have some change, on top of that. So and that's the strategy that I like to use on this one. But I have to warn everybody, especially for the people who are not familiar with the CCIV, or just getting into the CCIV stocks. Man, this one is going to be epic fail. I can tell you that if this one doesn't go through, so that's another reason that I took some profit of, today, because I didn't want to, to leave, the full of my gain and, like hoping that it'll go up on Monday. That's not how I, like to play. I like to lock in my, profit, especially, we have like the weekends, ahead of us. So, I wanted to, to take some profit off of it. So that's what I did today. I like to buy actually when it goes, the merger goes through. I like to, to buy the shares of Lucid Motor. That's my plan. We'll see how how this will turn out, but I can still see there's going to be a little chance on this one. Like for example, like before the news, the merger news come out, especially like after the merger date is actually the announced. I can definitely see there's going to be more, another kind of pre-anticipatory, like the run. So we can definitely, have another chance before that. And make a note that like normally the price consolidate after the merger go through. So but the thing is, this may be a little bit different because they're considering this is lucid. Like everybody have the big hype on this stock right now. So, but the important thing is not to feel the FOMO on this one and find the careful like the entry point. That is what is important. And I'll of course to let you guys know what strategy that I'll come up with. Depends on how the stock moves. So that's that. And I wanted to talk about the Palantir. Yesterday I told you guys like I doubled down on this one. But first I wanted to to let you guys know that this is my long-term stock. So as you know that the stock price went down quite a bit, like because first because of the earning reports, and that's kind of like the funny I didn't expect this one to go down this low in the first place, because of like the stock had the quite good run up right before the earning, so I didn't expect this one to go up much, but of course I didn't expect that it's going to go down this low. But I could see like as soon as the earning came out, a lot of the report was kind of like popping up, and they were like the highlighting some negative side of the stocks. I was like, what is going on? Because so I went went ahead like little deep dive on that to see what's going on. But I can definitely see somebody, especially who are not very strongly convicted to the stock, they could feel the fear on this stock, and I could definitely see they had a little bit of the factor there. The people actually sold they sold off from that news, but today bounced quite a bit. So I surely didn't expect this one to go up like more than 18% today. So that's good. But when I look at this one, now I could have sold some the secure the cash put on this one, but I mean I didn't expect this one to go down that low. And yeah, yesterday the price was just pretty much the staying at $25, and to me I had to protect my position on this one, so that's why I doubled down. But as a result of that, I doubled my position on this Palantir. But now I'm going to talk about my strategy a little bit in a minute. But another second reason that the stock went down is because the many people were kind of fearful about the shareholder lockup release. So that, in other words, many the shareholders now can finally sell their shares. And that's another factor that drove the stock down quite a bit. But I just wanted to clarify with y'all that the actual data shows 47% revenue growth. Yeah, it grew. The revenue actually grew, and the 17% the adjusted operating margin is 17% up, and the 21 deals they have made in fourth quarter alone, each it is worth more than $5 million and more. And out of that 21, the deals they have made, out of that, like 12 of which were each worth like more than 10 million. So I was like, well, what's going on? So I was kind of like looking through all this the news, and also they were saying, oh, the government, the signing went down and blah blah blah. But actually, the company is planning to expand their, like the commercial side of, the contract. So the naturally, of course, the percentage factor of, the government signing, of course, it'll go down as if you look at it as, as a whole, like the revenue. So that's my thought on that. But and my strategy is like now I double down on the the $25 range. So if it goes above above $30 or so, $32 no, actually 33 or so, like I'll be pretty much even from the very top. Like I even went up more than like the the $42 or so. But what I see is the top is about the $40. So anything like if it goes more than 35, if it goes up to 35, I'll be like pretty much the same position as like how it was like the $40 range. But if it goes even more than 35, I'll be making pretty good profit on it. So what my plan is, I'll have to rebalance it, taking the health away, and whatever the profit that I to make, I'll probably buy some more share of the Palantir, and that's kind of the strategy I'm thinking about doing it. And let's talk about the CM Life Science. I made a full video on this one. I'll try to put the link down below, but if you watched my previous video, then you guys know that the ARK Investment also bought this one. Quite a huge share of this one. I told you about that, and so today, I started like very small, tiny position, and normally, and you if you see how I the approach like the new stocks like this, I never been to the company. I don't know the CEO in person. All I can the invested on is like based on the news and the research that I make. So I normally don't go heavy on this one first, and I just kind of start the position small and see how it goes. So so I bought it at $24.77, which is pretty much at the top of the day. So so I just want to tell you guys that you guys didn't miss anything. So if you decide to kind of get into it, certainly it is not bad timing. That's what I'm trying to say. So and also the Facebook, I talked about this one briefly yesterday. Today I got out of this position today. So I put the stop loss at 267, and it pretty much like kicked me out of that one. So that's what it happened. And of course I didn't lose any money on this one, but of course I didn't make any money. But what is important in this one is why I got onto this one, Facebook. If you watched my previous video. So, but the stock is not going in the favor of my direction. So I had to just let it go. And it looks like the price went down after. So actually it kind of like worked out the better in my position. And there was the news came out that Facebook is the banning the political news in Australia, and the Google is going totally opposite with Facebook. So I thought that that's the funny, and they're making actually they decide to the Google decide to make the payment agreements with Australian the publication. So they're going to different opposite directions. So we will see how this one goes. And my thought on this one was like it'll be interesting if the Facebook does the same thing here in the United States. But who knows how what their plan is. So I thought that was the interesting the news to point it out. And that's about it. Today's the video. So I hope everybody enjoy the weekend, and I'll probably see you guys on Sunday. So peace out.